Okay, uh, we are recording. Cool. So, hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to talk about something which I feel it's a bit more applicable. I guess it's a more practical topic that we're going to talk about today, which I feel is going to be very useful for a lot of you guys because a very common problem that a lot of people have, especially in communication, is that they have trouble speaking on the spot, right? So a lot of people have problem with articulation, which is basically, again, as I said, it's speaking on the spot, right? A lot of people have trouble forming words, forming sentences. If someone asks them, hey, can you speak about this topic, right now, a lot of people have a lot of issues. And because of this lack of clarity and this poor articulation, a lot of people get misunderstood. I have a lot of people, I've met a lot of people, they're very smart people, right? Way smarter than me. They have like like a lot more, they're very knowledgeable. They're really smarter than me, right? But a very common problem I see in a lot of very smart people and even in normal people is that a lot of them have problem with articulation. They're not able to convey their words very properly. And this is a very big disadvantage because no matter how great of an idea you have, if you are unable to convey it to people, right, there's no use of it, right? Because an idea truly becomes a idea when people also acknowledge it, right? Anyway, so yeah, today we're going to talk about how to talk, specifically how to talk in more uh, formal areas, right? Obviously, normal conversation also we have with a lot of people, but in this video specifically, we are going to focus more on the interview side, how they ask you in the interview, hey, can you talk about this topic? So today we are going to focus a bit more on the formal side. I'll make a video more about how to casually talk as well, but today we are going to focus upon formal talking, right? So how to talk, right? How do I say things on the spot? If someone asks me, Bhargav, please can you elaborate on this topic, I'll be like, yeah, sure. And then I talk about it. I don't need any prep time. I don't need notes. I need nothing. I'm able to say it on the spot. So how do I do it? First point, which is a very important point, it's a very slow process, right? It takes time to develop. This is something you need to understand. Now, I would like to think of yourself when you were a kid, right? When you were a kid, things like reading, things like writing, understanding words, there was a very big delay in that process, right? You had to take conscious effort to it, right? Whenever you were writing something, you had to say it A, B, C, D, M, Y, you know. And even when you're watching something or listening to people, it wasn't a very simple process, right? But over time, you became more and more efficient in it, and you became so much efficient that after a point, it was not even a very conscious process, right? Things like breathing, blinking, right? These are not conscious processes. It happens even when you're not aware of it. Matter of fact, if you become aware of your breathing and blinking, it's actually a problem because these processes are meant to be, automated. Similarly, when you're watching content in a language in which you are comfortable with or in your native language, although eventually if you watch content in a specific language, you become comfortable in it. Regardless, when you initially watch something in a new language, right? When I was a kid, when I used to listen to English songs or when I used to watch English documentaries on National Geographic and all these channels, right? The delay was very large. Half of the time I didn't understand anything. Half of the time I had to pause the videos. Their accents were different, pronunciations were different. I had a heck lot of trouble trying to understand them, right? But eventually that delay became very, very small. And right now, most of the content that I watch is in English, right? I'm not flexing it or anything. I'm just giving you an example, right? Most of the web series, movies, music that I listen to, it's in English, and the delay is very, very small. It's almost become an automated process. The first thing that you need to understand is that it's not a very conscious process. Okay, this is something that starts out as a conscious process, but eventually it becomes automated, right? That's something you need to realize that over time it becomes it becomes automated, right? So that's your aim. Your aim is to automate this process, right? As I said, talking on the spot gets better over time. So now we know that it's a slow process. So how do we go on about this, right? How do we develop this? First tip, first actual practical tip.